And continuing along with my reviews of the Batman Superman Public Enemies figures, today we're going to be looking at Silver Banshee. Silver Banshee you could probably look at as an exclusive figure to this wave. It's very unlikely. I don't see Mattel probably releasing a Silver Banshee figure now that they've actually released her in a Public Enemies line. I'd almost think really that the figure would do better justice as a DC Universe rather than a Public Enemies, but we'll talk more about that when we get the figure opened up. Of course, standard packaging, Superman at the top, got Batman at the bottom. I won't spend too much time on it like I mentioned in the Batman review because really, nobody wants to see the same packaging over and over and over again. On the back, it's same read-up unfortunately as well. And we've got a picture of Silver Banshee. It seems slightly different if you look at the picture of Banshee here. Seems slightly different than the actual head sculpt we received. Well, we'll see when we get that opened up. Of course, the other figures in this wave, we've got Batman, Superman, Icicle, we've got the Silver Banshee here, we've got Black Lightning, and finally Major Force. You can collect and buy all 6 figures to build Brimstone. There's packaging. Pretty short and sweet. What we'll do is we'll get this package opened up and we'll get a better look at Silver Banshee. Stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. And before we actually look at Silver Banshee, the checklist of parts that come with Banshee for the Brimstone Build-A-Figure, you're going to actually be getting a leg. You're going to be getting a leg. And if you're experiencing deja vu, it's only because you've probably seen this leg before when I was building the Kilowog from DC Universe Wave 11. Really, and I'm sure I'll say this again when I'm building Brimstone and I have him fully assembled, but Brimstone shares a lot, if not all, the same parts as Kilowog, of course slightly retooled and repainted. But what you're going to do is you're going to get a leg of Brimstone, and we're going to get the underoos that came with Batman here. And we're just going to snap the two together. And right now, all you've got is a leg and a crotch. Really not going to do very much, but we'll put him aside for the time being. I have a really good feeling. I'm sure he's going to get fully put together in the next several videos. Just call it a hunch. I've got Silver Banshee here on her display stand. I had a sneaking suspicion that she wasn't going to stand very well on her own, just because female bodies, at least the DC Universe female bodies, don't really tend to stand well when I'm doing reviews of them. The figure itself isn't too bad. It's really a shame, and I mentioned this in the package end. You see how stuff comes back? I mentioned it. Guaranteed I was going to say it again. But I find the one thing with this figure is, as nice as the figure is, it's not as nice as it could be. And I think really a lot of that can be chalked up to her face. The face isn't bad, but it's not spectacular. And really, had I been given a choice between getting this figure as a more cartoony version in the Public Enemies line, or to have one that's a little more realistic in the DC Universe line, I probably would have gone DC Universe. I mean, really, if they had taken just I would even say a Black Canary face and just repainted it and given her the Silver Banshee style hair, it would have been a very nice looking figure. I was going to say attractive, very nice looking figure. I almost feel underwhelmed with this figure, and it pains me to say that because, like I said, this is probably going to be the only way you're going to get a DC Universe scale and articulation-wise figure of Silver Banshee is to get this figure here. So you kind of have to take your licks. You can accept the fact that you've got a Silver Banshee figure, but then you have to come to terms with the fact that, well, it's not really as good of a figure as it could be, but I picked it up because it was a Silver Banshee. So you see, it's a painful trade. It's a painful trade. But the figure is pretty good. I mean, the paint's pretty clean. It's not too bad, and I don't really see any spots where the paint has bled. The face, I think it's just really the face that's doing it for me. It's not as good as it could have been, but really for what to be expected in this line, it's probably what it is. Also as well, Silver Banshee I think is a good example of a figure that probably should not have been made in this particular line for how little she is in the movie. It just seems like with the majority of these characters, and I'll get into this certainly as I do the other reviews, it really seems to me though that they just hand-picked characters that they probably were never going to release in a DC universe. So they said to themselves, well, we're really never going to release a Major Force, and let's come to terms with it. We're never going to release an Icicle. Banshee, we might, but you know what? If we got to come up with this line quickly, and really the only core characters we want are Superman and Batman, and we got to throw fillers in. Well, you know what? We'll throw Major Force in. We'll throw Silver Banshee. I don't know. I don't know. The figure, you just have a feeling that the character could have been so much better, but in the way of her articulation, despite the fact that she's got this hair down at the front, or a collar, this hair part here, her head actually moves pretty well. And also this hair here doesn't hinder any of the movement. She has the ball-jointed shoulders. Sadly, she has the frail little biceps that all female figures are known to have. She has the bend in the elbow. She can rotate at the wrist. You can rotate at the waist. You can bend the torso. Not very much, though. And you can bend the leg in and out, back and forth, rotate the thigh, bend at the knee, and bend at the ankle. It's a mixed bag for this opinion of this figure. While it is nice to have finally gotten a Silver Banshee, I feel like it could have been so much better, and for that, I have to give Silver Banshee a 6. Oh, also, she does come with a Superman, Batman, Public Enemies stand. Yeah. But, I gotta have to give her a 6. I probably would even knock that further back and give her a 5. Nice to get a figure of Silver Banshee, but it's a painful, painful lesson of life. You want to just say lesson of life, that unfortunately we have to get her in a Public Enemies line and not DC Universe. At any rate, that was a toy spot. Today we were looking at the Superman, Batman Public Enemies, and we were looking at the Silver Banshee. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more reviews of the Superman, Batman Public Enemies line, where we will finally build Brimstone. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.